Hi everybody, I was contacted the other day by Valerio Ianni, who is the former youth director of the San Francisco Bay Area Disc Association. He's currently coaching a youth team called Oakland. He wanted me to review some footage of the team, so we arranged a live stream analysis session, which is basically where I spend a couple of hours going through footage from the team in my video editing software. And it's a live stream, so you can see my face on the screen, and there's chat as well. So the team are watching and they can chat to each other and they can ask me questions, and it's kind of like an interactive coaching experience. Oakland play conventional offense and defense, and Valerio had given me some pointers for what he wanted the focuses of the session to be. So we didn't touch on anything hex related, and there wasn't anything massively groundbreaking. Here's an excerpt from the first point, which should give you an idea of what the live stream entails. I touched on 4 concepts which should be fairly familiar to medium to high level conventional ultimate players. Number 1, going for the inside out break before you go for the around break when you get a break cut coming out of a vertical stack. Number 2, why it's usually best to avoid hucking to a receiver who is in the same third of the field vertically as the thrower. Number 3, the correct dump positioning in a vertical stack, why the dump should stand at 45 degrees back on the open side. And number 4, not bending your cuts, especially when you cut deep. I'm just going to let this video play out, so it's bye from me for now. Alright, hello everybody. Welcome to the stream. Let's go live. Hello. Let's get started. If at any point you've got any questions, then I encourage there to be some discussion and ask me questions in the chat. You see it comes up in the bottom of the screen just here. So I've got my mouse that I can use to highlight what's going on the field as well. Should make it easy to see what I'm talking about. All right, let's get straight into it. So there isn't any sound on the game footage, which is good. It can be a bit distracting. All right, so in this point, Valerio says attack the break side before the marker's on. Almost. Attack the break side before the marker's on instead of forming a full stack. I like that you're stepping out to fake that, but I think you're not really believing that you're going to throw that, and I think the defenders don't believe you're going to throw it really either. So the first look normally when somebody cuts break side like that is to actually go for the inside out. Okay, if you step out and threaten that inside out sidearm, okay, then the force will move over this way. Then that will open up later on for the option of that around. Okay, the force will have moved over, so then the possibility of throwing around here is more likely. Okay, so just as a general rule, if someone gets through on the break side, fake the inside out, or go for the inside out first. If the force stops it, then you should have the around. Okay, this is a nice amount of separation that we've got here. Okay, so we should be making use of that to attack the break side. One of the problems with this huck is that the space that this receiver has is very limited. Okay, so they're looking over this shoulder, so really you're asking the thrower to put the disc in this kind of space here. Okay, which is quite a small amount of space. If you look over the other side, then you've got all of the rest of the end zone to aim at. So there's a rule of thumb about don't huck to the same third. Yeah, so if you have the thrower in 1/3, so the throwers, if you draw a line down here, and line down here, then if the thrower's in this third, then you shouldn't huck to this third. Okay, but you can huck to this third or this third. Okay, a lot of that is because this is a narrow channel over here, so it's quite tricky to get that throw into the right place in a catchable way. The dump is best on the open side. Yeah, so 45 degrees back on the open side. It means that the force can't affect anything between, and if the dump gets free going behind, okay, then they can move the disc onto the break side. So they either cut behind, so they get the disc moving onto the break side, or they go forwards on the open side into like a power position. So generally it works better if you're 45 degrees back on the open side. Cut right down the middle. Well, okay, so at this point, so you're making the deep cut here, right? The problem is that Yeah, you've bent down. You've bent around that corner there. As you go around that corner, that then starts to limit the amount of space that you have. Okay. And at that point, instead of looking over your right shoulder, I'd even maybe look over the left shoulder. Because, yeah, you're asking the thrower to put it in that tiny little space. And you see then, yeah, the thrower has it fade into the middle of the pitch, which is better than fading out of the pitch. And, yeah, it hits the hand, so we're unlucky in the end. But, yeah, it was a cut that was asking the thrower to throw to a very small space, basically. I really hope you do well in your championships, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Yes, you're good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.